Hi all, welcome to Step to Code and welcome to PowerShell tutorial. In this tutorial, we will cover various essential PowerShell concepts and hands-on with scripting. With that, let's see what is PowerShell. PowerShell is powerful command line shell and scripting language developed by Microsoft. It is designed for system administrator and power user to automate tasks and manage Windows system. But it is also available for Linux as well as Mac OS. So that's make PowerShell a cross-platform task solution. Now let's get started. And with that, let's start first install PowerShell. By default, Windows comes with PowerShell. If you see the PowerShell, you can see there are multiple installation of PowerShell in this. And why? Because this installation comes with Windows. I have PowerShell 7 as well. Why? Because I have upgraded my PowerShell. So how you can upgrade it? If you have Windows system, you can use this URL and download the MSI package, or even though you can use Winjet to download the package and upgrade your PowerShell. I have used MSI and upgrade my PowerShell to 7.3.7, which is the latest version. So if you can see, sorry, if you can see PowerShell of mine, it is of version 7.3.7. But how you can come to know that which version of PowerShell is written? So you can see like it is run in 7.3.7. There are few commands with using which you can even see this is inbuilt variable of PowerShell using PS version table, which can guide you through the version of PowerShell you are having currently in your system. Okay, now let's get started with the commands. So there are inbuilt commands in the PowerShell like get date, which give you the current date. But this is not the way to write the PowerShell. So how you will write the PowerShell? So for that, you require an editor, either a PowerShell editor, which comes by itself in it. You can use the PowerShell ISE like this. Otherwise, you can use Visual Studio Code. I'll prefer to use Visual Studio Code for my editor. So let's start with the first thing first. So we're going to learn what is variables in the PowerShell, because variables are very important to store the data as well as the things in it. So let's start with the variable. How to declare the variable? You can see over here, it starts with the dollar, and you can set any name on. So like this, dollar, my variable, and assign any values. To print it out, you can use write host to print the variable like this. This is how you can do it. So this is also variable, but let's remove it for now. Okay, let's see how the variable use. Now this is Visual Studio Code. You can use any of your favorite editor you want, but I'm using it right now. To open the terminal, I have just used the shorthand keys. Now this open the PowerShell editor for you. Now I can write one my variable and I'll run it out. You can see it's hurry. But this is not the only way to run the PowerShell script. You can even run your PowerShell script in your command prompt. If I go to this path, and if I open my command, or you can double click it, it will open in Notepad. Sorry, my bad. Run with PowerShell, and it will run. But it won't happen. It won't stop over there because it is has no command to stop over there. So to see the data, you can see I have run it like this in the command prompt, and it shows the value. So this is how you can set the variable. Now let's see how you can design your looping system. Now, suppose I want to iterate from 1 to 10. How you can define in other languages are like this, like you need to define an array like this, something like, but in PowerShell you can do like this. Now, for each, I have already have did this. Now you can see like this. My variable like this in number, again run, save, run, you can see 1 2 3 4 5. This is how you can do it. The looping with PowerShell is very easy. You can loop it to anything like this. Even I can make it 100 like this. Now let's see the comparison and other operators of in PowerShell. So you can see there are, let me down this. Now you can see like there is lot of operators in PowerShell. So this is greater than, this is less than, this is equal to, this is not equal to, this is greater than equal to, this is less than equal to, and this is how we can write our if and else clause. You can see now, if you can see, I can write like this, and if I run, you see this is the first 20, a greater than b, so it is no, so it prints b. It's a less than 2 means yes, it's print 10. If a equal to 2, no means it's print a again. So it print b. A not equal to means it's print a. It's greater than equal to, then it's a is greater than, no means it's print b, and is less than equal to, like this. So this is how you can write the conditions for in PowerShell. Now the most important part to is how to write functions in PowerShell. So there are two ways to write function. Okay, the first way is very easy, like just write like this, function add, we already have add, subtract, subtract, direct with the well1 and well2. You don't need to provide any data type to it, it is fine. And here your function, you can directly use like val or -1, whatever you like, and return it or do it just like we are added. But if you want to declare compulsory like types, okay, here it accept anything. So for example, if you see 2 into 2, again I do 2, if I do like this, and if we run this one, what we will get the answer. So let's see the answer of this. So it's 22. 2 into 2, it's 22. 2 into 2, no, it's not, right? So this is how it behaves. If I do like this, it gives me the exact multiplication answer. So how you can do that? You can do it using this. Like if I do add over here, and if I mention like this, it's 4. Now it's convert it this 2 into 2. If I do like this, it convert it to 3. And if I convert it to a like this, it's an error, cannot process. So it not convert, so you can see cannot convert value a to system type of integer 32. It throws an error to you. If you want, then I say better always to write this param, so you can catch the error more appropriately. And if you have any questions, you can write it back to me. I'll clarify and help you to for the clarification, and write again to you. Okay. Now files. Okay. So this is the important thing in the PowerShell. So when we use file systems to do the automations, like this is most important part while you do the automation. Why? Because when you do the automation, you need to copy the file from one location to another. Like while you do the builds in CI/CD pipelines and all, you need to copy your installation from one path to another. You publish to another directory, or even to Azure or AWS, whatever. You require such commands of copies and remove and all. So we'll learn this all one by one. Okay, so you can see this is for a create folder. So you can write new item. You need to define temp path. Now item type is equal to directory. Now if you want to create a file, you need to define a file. So it will create a file for you. If you want to direct directory, you need to mention directory of item type. So it will create a new directory for you. You can see there's a temp directory path, files path, and so I'm going to delete this directory first. Now you can see what it will do. It will create the temp directory. So it created temp directory. Now if you know the right file, it file.txt path. So what is file path? It is file like this. Okay, let me delete this already existing files. Let's delete this all. Now we have two folders, files and files one. Now what it will do? So let's first see the scripting of mine, what my scripting will do. So you can see it create first directory. So this temp directory it will create. New item path. New item path means it will create a text under the files path, which is the files. This is also create files in the files path, file 2. This is files. Let me change the name so it will be confusion. File 1 and file 2. Now it will create a file 2, but it will put the value inside it. Okay, so let's do that first, then we'll go. Now you have seen like my code is having like this. Okay, so this with a hash sign, I mean. So what is this? So it is a command comment section, like comment. You can, if you don't want to execute this, just put this and it won't execute. It is just like comment. It will comment those lines and it won't capture in your execution. Okay, so that hash keyword is for the comment the particular line. Now let's move and create this one first. So I don't, I'll let me remove this whole code first. So let's see what happens over here. I clear with this. Okay. Oh, it's error. Why? Oh, it's temporary already exists. Now what? Okay. So you are trying to create which is already there. Okay. No issue. We can do force. Now what it will do? Oh, my bad. Okay. So what it will do? What is do? So if the exist, it is forcing means it will force and it will recreate. Now see, it's not throwing an error, it create because it's already exists. Then it recreated. Okay. Now what it will do? It write files. Okay. Let's go. It created this file empty. This I file 2. That's good with I file 2. Yes. Add content because this is just adding the content to files 2. Okay. It's already there. Then it won't. It just add the content. If it is not, then what it will do? It will create that file. I'm deleting it. I'm rerunning this. File 1 already exists. I need to do force. Now you can see it's already created in the first go. but now it added two data into it because it's just keep adding because it add content, right? So value is getting added and it's doing this. Now copy file. Now copy items. Okay, so copy items are a bit trickier over here. Okay, so let's comment it out. You can see there are two things over here. So first let me comment out this out. So we can only run this items. Okay, now copy items. So what it will do, copy item, file path. Okay, so dollar, I missed the dollar. Okay, so file path to files path one, and it says recurse means take all the files recursively. Okay, so files path, it's this, and it's move this files to this folder. Okay, now let's run it. Okay, it moves, but it creates a folder also like files. Oh, which is not required, right? Because we want to copy only the files. Then what shall we do? Okay, let's delete this first then. Okay, we only want to copy the files and not the directory. Now what? Let's do it. How? Let's comment this first. So you just need to add like this, a star. Okay, now if I run this, what it will do? It will copy the files only. It won't copy the folder. It copy only the file under it. Okay, let's remove this and do it. Let me delete this. Now do this again. See, so that star is important. Okay, don't forget to put the star, otherwise it again copy the folder. Now let's move. So what's the next? Oh, we don't need to remove, but we need to move. Okay, the same things over here. Files path 1, temp directory. Now we are forcing to move data from files path. Okay, let's do like from here to here. Okay, move items. Oh, it moves. Why? The same thing. Same thing. We are moving the whole directory, not the data, right? So let's do that. Let's only wish to move data. Okay, now see, it's only move the data. There's no data over here. Good. I'm good on this. I think so. Okay. Okay. Now what next? Rename the folder. Let's rename the folder. So we need to rename our temp directory to temp directory 1. Let's remove it. Oh, wow. See, it's renamed temp directory to temp directory 1. So it renames it. Now delete folder. It is very easy. Remove items, path, temp directory, and force. Now, before we move ahead, I would like to tell you that in Visual Studio Code, you can use many extensions. I have used PowerShell extension for all the IntelliSense I am getting right now. Okay, and it supports many other feature as well. So I'll recommend to install PowerShell extension while you develop your PowerShell for in using Visual Studio Code. Okay. So remove items. So remove items from temp directory. Let's first copy the items. So we have something over here. Okay, so we can do that. Let's do that first. Okay, so it says files path to files path 1. Okay, let's see. Okay, first move it, then we remove items. First move the data, copy the data. Now it is the data has been copied. Now what we do, we will remove the data from it. Okay, files path 1. Now let's remove the data. Oh, it delete the folder. Oh, again we did the same mistake. What we did, we did not say, we did not say the files we asked remove delete folder, right? Yes, that's why it did that. Now the main important task, sometime we want to iterate through our directory to find something, right? So how we'll do, many times this happens, right? So test path, okay, what is test path? Means if the path exists, then only go inside, otherwise don't. So it will say if file path exists, then go inside, otherwise don't go. Okay, now it says get child item from this file path. So it gets the file names. Now we are using for each. PowerShell is not like func. If you see the keyword, it's not case sensitive. You can write for each like this as well. There is no issue in capital, or you can write it like the small. That would be no issue. Okay, so it's not case sensitive in that case. Okay, now for each file names into file, what it will give you. Now it iterate to each file. It give you the file path of the each file. Now I'm getting get item. This is all in the yellow are the commands of PowerShell, built-in commands. Okay, so this all are built-in commands of the file. So you can see get item into the file info, base name. It will give me the file in the file info. It give me the base name, directory name, create instance UTC, length. What now? Get content. I want a content of the file, so I use a PowerShell command called get content in, and I pass a parameter of file, so it give me the content of that file, and I print it. Now the best thing I'm going to tell you is how to debug. Okay, so if you see the red dot over here, while I go, so I'll click. So now it create a breakpoint. Okay, so while you want to do breakpoint, you need to do run. When you do the run, it will ask you over here, if you're doing it the first time, it asks you that you want to debug, then say yes, run and debug. Okay, now you can see what is in the file names. So that is, you can see the objects 0 1 2 means an array of an object, which first is having this, second having this, and third is having this. Now you can see it give the file info. So you have file info for the first pass file. What is the first file? File 1. So what is the base name? So base name, directory name, creation UTC, time in UTC. It's a length 0 because it's no length. File has no data, and it will print it. Let's see, it has to be 3 times. 1 2 3 4. Sorry, 1. Yeah. Now if you want to debug, you can do like from here, step over, step, go inside and step out. Okay, so we do step over. So one step it will go down. Yeah, we don't do anything else. Okay, it, all the things are there. So you can see it has file size and everything is there up to date. It says file name, everything. So why I did the plus? There is no required of doing the plus. You can directly write like this as well. Okay, but sometimes there is an issue, so you better to write like this as well. It won't be an issue. So if you run again like this, you can debug. You can see file name like this. There is no need of plus sign. You can see there is no required of plus sign in it. You can directly write like this. It will concatenate, so you can easily do like this. There was no issues. It worked fine. This I don't think so work. See, you can see like it give you like this. That's why I tell it it won't work. Reason is like After you do the dot, it take it as a string. It is not, otherwise it's fine. Like you can see, like I have written it like this, only the variable name if there, then you can easily do like this. So this is files for you in the PowerShell. This is pretty clear. Now, after creation of file, there are, other important things as well, which I need to share with you guys, is like you need to even do zip and unzip of the files, and PowerShell inbuilt give uh, the set, means commands which help you to compress the files. So you can see, like, there is a function zip and unzip which I have created. Like, it's not an inbuilt function. The inbuilt function is this: compress archive and expand archive. So compress archive I used for zipping, and expand archive I use for unzip. So if you do the zip and unzip use, then it will compress a file for you. Let's check it out how it will help do. Then we do a zip. Now we pass source path. So we use our this path. Let's do copy this from here to here, like source path equal to file path, and destination path equal to files path 1. Okay, now let's do the run of zip. See, it unzip, it create a new zip file for you. Let's reveal it in Explorer. It has files and object files. So this is zip for you. Now let's do unzip. The same, unzip. Now in unzip, so what we will you like files dot zip. Okay, now I'll tell you what is this PS script root. Okay, so PS script root is inbuilt variable which will give you the path of this running script, like executable script path. So it will give you name of the folder up to this. Suppose this is zip unzip, which is running under the PowerShell folder. Then it will give you the path up to that PowerShell. So you can just add. Okay, so that's one, and it will unzip under this, or I'll make it temp. Okay, let it be like this, and like do like this, and files, and it did unzip it, unzip the file. See, yes, it unzipped. Good. Okay. Now the one critical thing now. Now suppose you need to call SQL Server from your PowerShell. Sometime it happens. You need to fetch data. You need to compare it, and then you need to do the things. Okay, so how you can call the SQL Server? Okay, so in SQL Server it's very easy. You need to provide a SQL connection. You need to open the SQL connection. This is same as what we use in the .NET world as well. Okay, so it is very easy. You need to provide this is a namespace of a .NET, so .NET namespace. So you need to provide a SQL connection with this connection string. You can see this is a server name, database DB name, integrate secret true, means it takes Windows authentication. I don't need to provide password and all. If you want to, means you need to use your connection string over here. If you have password and username password, then you have to provide it over here. Then you need to open the connection. It is same as what how we can use in the .NET on connecting SQL. It is same way I did SQL star from people. I have my local SQL Express, so you can see. Now try and catch. I have no catch. I have only finally. So when the finally call, it goes. Now let's get a data over here. Then run it. Okay, it's successfully run. What it do? It create a test file. Okay, now what I'll do is I'll let me delete all the data from here. Yes, let me delete so we can come to know what it creates over here. See, it create test me. It has two data, Abhishek and Rudra. So you'll get a people name. So what it is doing? Let's see what SQL is doing. Okay, so it is doing select star from people. It take all the data and it just append the name, dr name. Okay, so what is this? Let's debug then. Okay, it's not debugging. Let's put it over here so you can see what is in there. Dr is having item array 0 and 1 is Abhishek. Yes, so I'm printing the 1 which is Abhishek, which is the name, and this is how it prints. Great. Add contained. We have seen what is add contained, and this is the dispose. Now, many times I have come into the questions like what if my file is having a single function? Like suppose I want to call my function like this. There is a zip function, right? Like this. Now, for to call this function, I need I need to call it from the same file. Now, suppose if I want to call this function from another file, and suppose I have like this zip.ps1. It is simple, right? Zip.ps1. Then I have to, and I want to call it from some other file. How I'll do? Okay, for that, let's do it. Where is our zip unzip? So what we will do? We'll copy this much to this one. Now you can see this is. So now you have two functions. Now where is main? Okay, let's call it from here now. Now forget and let's call that zip from here. So we have this and we have this. Let's call it from that. Okay, so what is the file name? Zip dot ps1, and it has a source path. So let me use this one only. Okay, let's do it here. So you can see I am doing it over here. So what is the name? Main.ps1. Okay, so it create a new zip file. See, test SCVC. Only single file because it has only one file in this and it created that one. That's it. So it's done. So this is how you can grow. I hope you have enjoyed, and if you have any questions, please write back to me. Thank you. Thank you for your time. Have a good day. And if you like my channel, please go ahead. There are more videos in a queue to come. Thank you.